I didn't even record half the things I was saying. I don't know what I was recording, but it wasn't what I was saying. I have been the biggest, ugliest sheep you've ever met. You see, some weeks ago, I watched Joker. I was in complete awe over the character study of Arthur Fleck. Being blown away by Joaquin's stellar performance, I became intrigued with his art of acting and started watching all his different performances in all the different movies he's acted in over the following weeks.
Oh.
I had heard about Joker 2 or Joker Folie deux, Folie D? Folie Dux? I don't know. Someone said it sounded like cologne though. I thought, gee, if millions of people think the movie stinks, then it must be guilty as charged, right? Hearing reviews of the so-called atrocious writing, boring plot, music that was just plain bad, and even some people saying how terrible the acting was, I genuinely didn't want to disappoint myself on that mess. The first movie was a masterpiece, and I didn't want to lose that high from watching such an incredible movie. So, I did what most people do, and I ignored it, swearing I would never watch it. After watching Signs, Walk the Line, Ladder 49, even Gladiator for another time. Wait, what did that rhyme? All these movies with the acting I craved. Yet, I needed more! I had recently stumbled upon a movie called You Were Never Really Here. You may have seen it from a music video I made. The movie was something I already felt inclined to watch, but was surprised to see so many negative reviews about plot and writing, calling it slow, pointless, empty, and most of all, confusing. To make a short story long, I watched You Were Never Really Here, and well, I love it. I wonder how one person could watch the same movie, yet get such a different experience from it. I didn't find it boring, far from it. I found myself in suspense, gathering little details to see if I could form an understanding of the character, the world, the story. The movie really was an art piece. I found the lack of dialogue in the movie to be a perfect display of show don't tell. To me, it felt like a writer flaunting their skills. Really. And that ending is definitely going to stick with me for a while. Yeah. Thanks. Then, there was a movie called Eddington. Reading the negative reviews, I was again a little weary. But Joaquin Phoenix, need I say more? It ended up being a great movie, in the final straw, the final deciding factor that I would give in and watch Joker 2. Actually, I take that back. It was definitely this common. After I'd been spoiled rotten on Joker's ending, if I would not watch for the story, at least I would be entertained by Joaquin's brilliant performance, because contrary to popular belief, I believe movies are made to entertain first off before they flourish as art by themselves. So do I like it? I do, and I'm tired of pretending I don't. Well, are people hating just to hate?
Yeah.
And
no.
From what I've seen, people dislike the movie mostly for its ending, which I'll get to later. However, I find myself unable to understand how someone can watch it and see bad acting. Every little scene, twitch of the jaw, blink of the eye, tremble of the lip, it all told so much for the narrative of the story. But these characters had experience in what they're feeling. I never expected in my wildest days Lady Gaga to sell a psychotic, a true psychopathic character, lacking of conscience and molded into her calculated, manipulative state. I also need to mention how great it was to see Lee Gill return to play Gary once again. Honestly, underrated actor. I hope he shows up in more big future films. So that's how I feel about the acting. 10 out of 10. Amazing. It's really good. I don't know how you can't like the acting. As for the musical scenes are intentionally rough in parts, especially at the start of the songs, but not hard to listen to at all. Even I, who am more of a rock or metalhead, even I can appreciate the work put into the soundtrack. My favorite songs to come out of the movie are definitely
Once in My Life, which felt so raw. I believe it was Joaquin who described Arthur's way of singing almost childlike, belting out verses like a king on the top of the world, in his perfect delusion. Close to you, if you go away, and true love will find you, are truly beautiful fitting his colorful delusions. I think the lyrical pieces are another great way of displaying a part of the story that can go under your nose on a first watch.
I also have to ask if anyone has heard True Love Will Find You. I don't remember that in the film, but I found it in the soundtrack. It was really good. So if you didn't hear it in the film either, you should probably go listen to it. And of course, all the instrumental musical pieces were incredible. The story. The big one here. The story. You know, the thing that makes or breaks a film. I'm going to give you a hard, controversial opinion. It was beautiful. A conflict between Arthur and his Joker persona and how the world sees him now, and ironically, how the audience sees him. A message about how people will only love something if it gives them what they want. As soon as they can't, they'll be discarded. A good portion of the movie admits to be a fantasy, a delusion of Arthur's, especially during the musical scene. Or maybe I'm just familiar with the idea of musical scenes being delusions of main characters. I don't know where I'd get that idea from. Arthur tries to put on the cold Joker facade, but we see his true character through the cracks in several moments throughout the film. Arthur is having a constant inner war with himself and his Joker persona. Think of it like a tug of war for his soul. There's a bidding on his shadow between the two sides of society. Speaking of his shadow, this scene has so much symbolism. I just think it's interesting hearing how everyone interprets something different from it. I honestly have so many thoughts and questions, which in my honest opinion, I think it's a good thing to be left with after a movie. If the story ends and everything has been answered, it's wiped clean from your mind, like a scrubbed plate. No more meal, no more leftover. Goodbye, food. So having some things left untold is something I do quite enjoy and appreciate in a film. You know, like did Harley Quinn even actually meet Arthur? How can we trust the narrative when the previous movie showed us how caught up we can be in a character's delusion? I see the Joker movie about a man molded by society's cruel nature, his only wish to be noticed and loved, believing he found that love in the end with his supporters. The second movie is about a man who is loved for society's idea of him, but not himself. The world failed Arthur. I think it's interesting how many people hate on the romance of Arthur and Harley. I'm pretty sure they missed the point of it. Yeah, it's supposed to be toxic. She's another offshoot of society and how they treat him and people in general. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what you've been waiting for, the ending. This one is tough. Time to take out our copium pills before we dive into this one. Is Arthur's death metaphorical of his transformation to the Joker? Perhaps one of his delusions, a fantasy? How long can someone survive some stab wounds? There's no way he was bleeding out for hours alone. I'm not even coping, guys. I'm not coping. My man Arthur is alive. Trust. Also, the knife doesn't look serrated, so that's good for Arthur. That's a plus. He probably has 5 or 10 minutes at best. Yes, I had to look that up, so I hope that's something. If you're the small percentage of people who enjoy dark musicals with range of interpretations that follow a depressing character and a dark theme, then trust me, you'll probably love it. The movie is quite more on the artsy side. It invites the audience to question what's real and what's not. It's like you can watch several very different movies in one film. You can pick and choose if you want to think outside the box. In short, the ending is cruel, but that's life. The movie isn't bad. It's just not what you expected. Also, I want to just thank, I almost have 6,000 subscribers, and I want to thank everyone for that. Okay, bye.
That's all, folks.